a couple of hours to go before the November 1 elections. Plenty of analysis on the go. Campaigning is still happening as we speak. I've got my colleagues here to join me just about what to anticipate, in the final hours of elections, and of course in the run-up to the results and the counting of the votes, etc. I've got Maswele Ralibona, who is SABC's news research specialist, and I've also got Tembiso Stole, who's our social media expert. Gentlemen, thank you so much for availing yourselves. Of course, we've been deployed here at the IEC Center for various days, and of course we are going to be here until after the elections. Perhaps let's start here. Maswele, let's start with you. You are based at the research department. You've been monitoring elections for many years for the SABC. We've got various platforms that we are using. So tomorrow, people head to the polls. What do we expect then to happen in terms of the counting of the votes, when we can start seeing those numbers starting to trickle in? Talk us through just that planning around voting.
Okay, thank you, Nati. When it comes to counting of the votes, you will understand that inside the voting station, you are going to find the electoral officers, IEC electoral officers. And I heard not long ago IEC saying it was looking for over 200,000 of them, wow, countrywide, to fill up all those thousands and thousands of voting districts or voting stations.
Yes.
During that process, when everybody else has gone home, you will find party agents who are inside the voting station together with an observer. It's a counting officer, it's party agents and an observer who will then unseal all the boxes and verify all the receipts. They have to make sure that the voter's roll that was submitted in that voting station corroborate with the number of votes in those boxes, sealed boxes, once they are unsealed and they are being verified. From there, after the count, they sort all the ballots according to their categories. You will have the ward ballot and you will have a PR ballot. Yes. In a district, you will have a district PR ballot, ward ballot, and the local municipality PR ballot.
Yes.
After that, that's when they will start counting each party vote. And then after the process of counting that, the party agents, including the observer and the accounting officer, they have to sign the receipts, the result slips. The counting officer has got a duty of taking those receipts.
And when will we then start seeing those numbers starting to trickle in? Because we've got these sophisticated systems right here where we'll start showing the audience, in terms of, in this particular ward, in this particular district, these are the numbers that are coming in. When are we likely to see that?
It will depend on the size of the municipality, yes, or the size of the voting district, yes, that this thing is happening. Yes. In the past, we saw IEC declaring maybe after an hour, yes, of official closing of the voting stations, you see one district declaring its results, and then party agents or, yes, party officials will be here. Yes. They will be cheering to that to say, oh, we are leading, or, yeah, we are number 2, stuff like that.
Tembi, so let me bring you in here. Social media expert for the SABC. I mean, you have obviously been looking at all our platforms that we have available here in terms of social media. Talk to me about what are some of the platforms that are available and how will we be maximizing those platforms and informing our viewers, in terms of where they should be looking at and what's happening.
Today is the last day of the special votes. Our reporters are reporting across different parts of the country, and they are making sure that they're providing, social media content that is, of course, in the form of text, audio and videos, just making sure that they give us that blow-by-blow coverage in terms of that. And we're making sure that those accounts are active, and then making sure that each, of course, social media accounts that belongs to the SABC is active, just making sure that the people at home who, of course, might be watching the program, might be maybe rushing to your shop, stop
Yeah.
in between, they are informed. So tomorrow, as you would know, the elections are, of course, for the nation. Of course, people will be out there, of course, really voting, and our role there as the SABC is to make sure that we give that blow-by-blow coverage. You'll recall even yesterday, the incident that took place here at the IEC, we were up at night.
Yes.
And then our strategy is just to make sure that each reporter, the editors out there, they really make sure that we give those blow-by-blow
Yes.
reporters. But most importantly, working close with the SABC digital department, making sure that the SABC Twitter account is active and alive, working
And
with
in
the team.
fact, you know, we were talking about just those results that would be coming in after, voting has happened and that counting has started. Then only we'll start, getting that. But in terms of that, where we sync what is happening
Yes.
on air
Yes.
and what we're seeing on social media, I mean, how fast-paced should that be?
I think the reality is that we are in the age of social media. We are in that future that we've been waiting for. So what it means is that our strategy is to make sure that we integrate social media and television, giving you blow-by-blow coverage as it goes. And as you see the interviews happening now, we make sure that they're out there on those social media platforms, making sure that you don't miss a thing throughout that. And we'll be doing that tomorrow, of course, on the first day. And most importantly, we'll be doing that on the second day of when the results come in. But what we also see on the social media platforms is that people like the content that we give them in terms of the rock. Not everyone can be here in terms of members of the public, but those behind the scenes and getting an understanding in terms of that. And of course, those short interviews that we'll be doing in between. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Obviously, long days for all of us here at the Rock. Long nights, of course. You'll be monitoring the situation. So the SABC viewer is in very, very good hands. Thank you so much for your time.